we will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order.
That is weird. I'm puzzled. I'm shooketh.
I'm confused.
That's going to be interesting. All right, so now it's me. Let me tear off the 22nd, and I'm going to get fascinated by the 2s again, because you know I love that font. Okay. In a convention, so if we're on the 22nd, by the way, I was still like admiring the lines of this font. Okay, Wednesday the 22nd. In a convention called for the purpose of organizing a society, committees not appointed in advance should be appointed by A, the assembly, B, a special committee, C, the secretary, D, the chair.
Okay, read it again.
In a convention called for the purpose of organizing a society.
Okay, so this is the way at the beginning, not already established. Okay.
Which we've talked about before as a mass meeting.
Right.
Committees not appointed in advance should be appointed by A, the assembly, B, a special committee, C, the secretary, D, the chair.
Okay, B doesn't make any sense to begin with.
Because there's no commit. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, I get you. Yes.
Secretary doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh, come on. Give me power. I love it.
Well, go stick your finger in the light socket. You'll get all the power you want. They'll even make your pink hair stand on it.
Us secretaries get no respect.
My mother was one.
No respect.
Yeah, whatever. The assembly does it in cases where the society is already established.
Unless the bylaws say otherwise.
Unless the bylaws say otherwise, that's right. But we're assuming they don't in this case. But I don't think that works on the original mass meeting. So I'm going to stick with the chair.
And you are correct, and I wouldn't have said that. But you are correct. I would have said the assembly, only because, like, I always default to the people. But
Well,
it is the chair.
The tip-off for me on this is the fact that we're dealing with the mass assembly, the mass meeting
Mass
first.
meeting in which you don't really have members yet.
Right, versus the assembly where you actually have members, where then they could do
Because you don't know who your members are yet, really.
Right, yeah.
Because you haven't appointed your
For all
bylaws.
if you leave it to the assembly, you could have a whole bunch of Hell's Angels.
Right. That end up not being members.
They're not being members, deciding who the committee is, to then turn around and wipe everything out. You want to shut something down before it starts. Go that route. What's our page?
Our page is 640, beginning on line 35. But check out the title of the
640?
section.
Okay, it's just not disciplinary. Yeah, there we go.
Read the title and tell me if that doesn't sound grammatically bizarre to you.
Conventions not of a permanent society.
What the actual fuck? What is that? Why would they word it that way? Conventions not of a... What? What? That makes no sense.
We call that a flash mob.
Conventions... What? Shouldn't it be... What?
A flash mob.
No, but I mean, how would you word that differently?
A flash mob.
Besides that, for Roberts.
Slam dance? I don't know.
It would be conventions...
School dance? I don't know. I mean... A convention called only for a specific purpose, not involving a permanent organization, or one called to form a state or a national society or federation, is similar to a mass meeting as described in section 53, in that when called in order, it has no bylaws or officers. Because there's no bylaws, difficulty may be encountered in determining who are the properly appointed delegates.
Well, the way we talked about last time, we have trouble determining it.
You know, determining when we do have it, yes.
Okay, but this said Rule 35, so...
Page 35.
Well, actually...
Line 35.
Yeah, actually, you'd start
roll
with
over.
31.
Yeah.
So after the elected temporary chairman has taken the chair, a temporary secretary is elected. Next should come appointment of the credentials, rules, and program committees, or the ratification of the prior selection of these committees. In a convention of this type, if these committees have not been appointed in advance, all committees should be appointed by the chair.
Interesting, up at 25 in the previous. Someone designated by the sponsoring group. sometimes the chairman of the Convention Arrangements Committee, great title, should call the meeting to order and preside during any opening exercises, jumping jacks, push-ups, etc., and the election of a temporary chairman. The sponsoring group's choice for temporary chairman and the person who is not to nominate him should be agreed upon in advance. So, in other words,
Rig it.
yes. So if your little unorganized meeting is sponsored by the many fine folks at Microsoft, all of a sudden their sponsoring group choice of temporary chairman being Bill Gates should not surprise you.
But what if the rest of the people who happen to show up don't agree and they vote for someone else?
Well, then they'll withdraw their sponsorship and you're screwed. But
yeah, this is all weird. It's very by the seat of your pants.
it's the Linux convention sponsored by Microsoft.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say Apple.
Apple wouldn't sponsor that.
Well, you were talking about Microsoft sponsoring it.
Yeah, but Apple runs on Linux.
Yeah, but it runs on Unix, right?
Linux, actually,
right. Okay.
The older OSs were Unix, but I believe they ported it over to Linux.
Did
a while
they?
back.
Because I don't think so.
The iOSs when the iPhone came out.
Did they? I think it's still Unix.
Maybe
We'll
it is still.
it
Maybe it is still Unix. I don't use Crapple products, folks. I'm a Unix Linux guy. So why? Because I prefer how the internet was built.
Well,
not how Apple thinks it was built.
I like my Apple
and
stuff.
not how Microsoft wants it to be built.
We are surrounded here by Apple stuff.
At my house, we call it Apple sauce.
Love my Apple stuff. All right. Was that me? Yeah, that was me, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You read it. I answered it. Yes.
Because
I got it right. I got it right.
I'm triggered by the blasphemy against the Apple. All right. Good.
I have reason to have blasphemy against Apple. I had to learn to program in C on an Apple machine that was so terrible.
I love my Apple.
That I was writing code on a Unix platform and then transferring it over to an Apple machine and then having to refactor it to make it work on their stupid products.
I converted in 96, never looked back.
This was back in 1994, and I said, forget it. If I want to use a journalism computer, I'll go use a journalism computer for journalism.
Love my Apple stuff.
Favor, let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray, all opposed. You say nay, opposed. Oppose, the motion carries anyway.